It's time for a little Shamrock and baseball shenanigans. This is the Shamrock Classic weekend here at the LakePoint Sports Baseball Village. I'm Cory McCartney. We've got 14U pool play coming at you. Rawlings Tigers and 643 DP Tigers. We're eyeing a 10:05 first pitch in this one. I'll be joined along the way by Will Hoogendyk and Jack McCartney. Now, the high school career awaits for so many of the players that we have in today's game of the day. But for others, those aspirations have taken them on to the collegiate level. Among them is Josh Gibbs, now playing for Kennesaw State, Forsyth Central, and the East Cobb Astros. I got to catch up with Josh and talk about his path here from LakePoint Sports, taking him on to CUSA, and we also got to solve a mystery that's been 3 years in the making. Here at Kennesaw State with Owl freshman Josh Gibbs, a guy who was a fixture at LakePoint Sports across the years, Forsyth Central, East Cobb Astros. Josh, man, good to see you.
Good to see you as well.
You think about those days. Obviously, you played in multiple Georgia Dugout Club tournaments, multiple NPIs, a whole bunch of events on our fields. What memories start coming back when you think about that time?
Man, I would say just all the great events I attended, like especially the NPI, I would say. I'd say that's the toughest event, I would say, at LakePoint with the best competition, and it was always just a fun time going out and playing at that.
All right, I love to hit the video archives with guys. Now, this is the kind of game that I think about when I think about Josh Gibbs. This is Georgia Dugout Club Tournament 2024. Oh, yeah. This is you with an RBI double and an RBI triple in one game. These are the kind of performances that we got used to seeing in Yadi. What memories does this bring back?
Oh, it just brings back a lot of memories, obviously, like playing with my high school boys and just going out and balling. I would say these high school dugout club tournaments were so much fun, just getting to play multiple high school teams at the same spot in many different games and schedules. So I would say that was just really fun.
All right, I'm going to do one more because you and I go back to 2023 and something, this is the only time this has ever happened. You and I are doing an interview and we got one of your boys comes back behind us in a frog mask with a cameo. It's been a few years now. Are you ready to finally put this on blast and tell us who this was?
Okay, so this was one of my friends from high school. His name is Brady Smith.
Okay.
So the whole frog mask thing, so Alex Hernandez is at Tech actually.
Yeah.
I think they've used it a little bit.
Okay.
So it's his idea for whenever someone hit a home run to put a frog mask on their head. And I guess Brady thought it was a fun idea during the interview to walk behind a T-pose with the frog mask on.
All right, one and only time that's ever happened.
Yeah, it was really funny though. It was a good time right there.
All right, so now the path has got you here at Kennesaw State. You think about, obviously you got some accolades coming into this, some anticipation, talking about preseason All-CUSA, named one of the top 100 freshmen on campus. College baseball can be a humbling place.
Yes, it can.
What's the expectations been like for yourself and kind of the reality of coming to a place where there's a lot of established guys who are already made the name for themselves?
Yeah, I would say coming into a place like this, obviously they're having new facilities, they have a bunch of transfers and guys returning, so obviously it's humbling not knowing exactly what the starting lineup's going to be every day. But I would say it also makes it a grind to where it just pushes yourself harder to get in the lineup more often and produce more.
One thing I always like to ask a guy that's in your spot now, if you go back to that Josh Gibbs that we had in those early days at LakePoint, what are you telling him about, what does he need to know about the path ahead?
That it's always a grind and nothing is set in place, because I would say old Josh would have been like, oh, when I get there, everything's going to be nice and easy, but at the end of the day, nothing's never too easy. So I would say just keep grinding and definitely just stay motivated.
Well, Josh, listen, man, I appreciate it.
Yes,
excited to see what's next, and I'm excited that we've been a part of your baseball journey.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Great catching up with Josh Gibbs, and man, what a facility that Kennesaw State has built themselves, and certainly an Alice program that's headed in the right direction. Again, we're slated for a 10:05 first pitch in our game of the day today between Rawlings Tigers and 643 DP Tigers. Going to take a quick break here in studio, and we'll rejoin you as soon as our action gets underway here at LakePoint Sports. Welcome in, Cory McCartney, Will Hoogendyk with you here for our game of the day. Rawlings Tigers versus 6'4" DP Tigers. So someone will going to grab a Tiger by tail today. Excited for this one. We're going to see Rawlings Tigers out in the field to start this one off. So 6'4" DP in those shiny new blue uniforms going to be starting off in the field. They're going to have Reed Schechter is going to be on the mound for them today. Reed also hitting for himself, so love a pitcher that can get done at the plate as well. We'll see if Reed can deliver on that. An opportunity here starting off against Rawlings Tigers.
And he'll be facing off against Jesus Nunez, who's on the bump for the Rawlings Tigers. And 6'4", this is their second game in a row. They are coming off of an 11-1 run rule, unfortunately, from the Georgia Jackets national team.
Yeah, tough start to the day for them, but a good start here as we see a fly out there by Nunez. So I say Reed Mullins, that was the first batter for them. Now it's Benson Starling. So Reed Mullins pops out. Mullins out of Mill Creek. Now Starling from Buford Academy, fourth prep baseball event for this 2030.
He plays shortstop for the Tigers. Tigers are in, well, both these teams are in the smallest pool in the tournament, just 3 teams, these two, and then the Georgia Jackets, like we mentioned earlier.
Yeah, the top 10 teams in this will advance to the gold bracket. And that will wrap up Sunday evening. Last week, I saw the game last Sunday. The championship game didn't go over until almost 10 o'clock. So that was a long weekend for those parents and those players, obviously, with school looming on Monday morning. That one's in play. A lot of action here on the right side of the field. Second base has it. Throws to first. Extends. Gets it. Out number 2 in the books. So down go Mullins and Starling. And here is Colton Koblenz.
I think this is the 3rd player in a row on the Rawlings team who's got orange cleats. That matches really nice with their outfit.
Yeah, well, you got to accessorize. Colton Koblenz, North Gwinnett, 2030. Right down the middle for a strike.
And this 6'4" team, 1 of 4 in the tournament. They have the Panthers, Jaguars, Cougars, and Tigers all in there.
Busy program. Short has it, throws. Did he get him? He, in fact, did. Very quick inning for Reed Schechter and 6'4" DP. It'll be their turn at the plate when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back, Cory McCartney, Will Hoogendyk with you. Jack McCartney going to be joining us here shortly as well on the broadcast. Rawlings Tigers, this is 643 DP Tigers. This is the 14U division from the Shamrock Classic here at LakePoint Sports. Another busy weekend for us here on campus. We have the Sweet Tea GAA gymnastics event as well as some 7v7 elite football, 7v7 football slated for this weekend.
And beach volleyball.
That's right. Well, that's of course, yeah. It's a busy place. Parking is going to be a hot commodity this weekend. Jesus Nunez on the mound here for Rawlings Tigers. He's got Owen Butcher, Alvin Spargo, and Hunter Bates lead things off here in the bottom of the first for 6-4-3. And for our scoreboard to operate, still says it's the top of the first. Everybody's still getting the jitters. You get spring training in the major league level, but we don't get the training, we just get the spring.
Spring baseball. We go right into it.
Yeah, we go right into it. So you got to be in mid-season form as soon as we get things rolling here in our games. So,
and Nunez out of Flowery Branch High School. He's class of 2029. Also listed as a catcher too. So we saw in our game last week that there was a couple guys that could do it all.
Yeah, I think you just sometimes as a coach you got to how many pitches do you allow a guy to throw before you're willing to throw him back behind the plate or vice versa. Miss inside, and that's going to be a leadoff walk here to Owen Butcher. So Butcher, the 2029 out of Campbell, makes his way down to first base, and he's going to give way to Alvin Spargo. Spargo, Etowah 2030, 11th prep baseball event for him. For that talented Etowah Pipeline, man, that is a absolute juggernaut of a team. We'll have them here April 9th and 10th for the Battle for Bartow. So you won't want to miss that one if you're able to come out. The number of MLB prospects in that tournament is going to be absolutely insane. McEachran's going to be here as well, so you'll have Chubb Jones Jr. playing in that one. So that guy is an absolute treat, running up to almost triple digits on the mound. But, of course, to Etowah, you'll have Matthew Sharman and Trevor Condon and Caden Borcherding and Deion Cole and, man, just on and on. Colin Anderson at third base, who we've seen do so many great things here on these fields. So it will be an absolute treat. Stony Brook coming down from New York in that one as well. So they've got a really great shortstop to come see in that one, who's a draft prospect as well, Vanderbilt commit. So big time event that we'll have here in April. I know it'll be packed out for that one. Pops that one up. Knows he got way underneath that one. Third base camps under. It's got it for out number one. So Spargo pops out. Butcher remains at first, getting in some calisthenics over there. Like he was loosening up the obliques. Now here comes Hunter Bates.
Cory, it's been a week now since we've seen these new 643 uniforms.
Yeah, still like them. Yeah, I do,
okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
It's a good blue. Looks nice in the I haven't seen it at night yet, so that'll always be nice. Taking off for second. The throw is going to be wide, so Boucher now finds himself at second base. But, yeah, what they look like under the lights, that'll be the next test. 2-0 count here to Bates. Got Nunez with a fastball around 68, and he's sitting exactly there. Also has a changeup, 60 to 61, a curveball in that same range. Big swing and a miss on that 68-mile-an-hour riser. More of a choppy kind of swing there from Bates, playing second base today. We will take you through our Windscreen Factory starting lineups here between innings. Always a tough thing for us when we have teams playing back-to-backs. It can be kind of tough to get the lineups before the games get underway, and that is a strike. Quickly 0-2 here to Bates.
You mentioned the players accessorizing Nunez with the orange glove too,
yeah.
which really pops. On the, is that a camo jersey? Am I seeing that?
It is, yeah, I believe it. Yes, actually it is. I went over there to get the lineup from Rawlings Tigers, and they are in fact playing in camo.
That's nice. And their hats too, very reminiscent of the Orioles.
Well, it's Tigers on Tigers, and last night I had another Tigers experience over in Clemson watching Michael Sharman, mentioned Etowah and Matthew Sharman. Big brother Michael playing for the Clemson Tigers this year, spent last year at Tennessee. Got to see him take on a really, really good Georgia Tech lineup. Man, just home run after home run in that one. I think we saw 5 in total.
Oh, wow.
Big miss high, including a grand slam.
Which in college is probably the closest you'll get to a home run derby because they don't have an all-star
That's
break.
right, yeah. Yeah, that's a really good Georgia Tech lineup, though, led by Houston County product Drew Burris, who we had here many, many times. Swing miss on that inside pitch, and man, from frustration from Bates as he spins out of the on-deck circle. And he said it was high, but he still chopped at it. So now 2 down. This will be Aiden McCray. McCray was at Rising Stars preseason All-State earlier this month out of Walker. '18th prep baseball event for him. Got exit velos right around 80 miles an hour. Runs a 60 in the 7.9s. It's a strike in the outside corner. Nunez dealing here. Living on the edges.
Throwing paint right now. Runner in scoring position not bothering him.
Tries to go with the secondary. Doesn't quite have the handle on that one on that pitch there, but more of a rainbow. It's going to, I believe, make the count 1-2. Two down here. Runner at second. That's one going back foul. Big swing from McCray. Listed at 5'10", 131 pounds. Should he advance, we'll see Grant Garrison, the extra hitter.
In both these teams, this tournament is the first in a long line of them for the summer.
Yeah.
6-4-3 coming back for 6 more tournaments
Wow.
later this year. And the Rawlings team as well, they're coming back for 4 more. Both of them will be here again for the March Madness tournament. That's just next week.
That one's driven in left field. McCray, they nearly have a collision. That's going to be the inning out. But yeah, 2 teams that we will see plenty of, and got a lot more to go in this one. We're through 1 inning. We're scoreless. We'll be back from the Shamrock Classic. But before we do that, producer Maddie, let's roll in our Windscreen Factory starting lineups. Nearly took me out of my game there with that. All right, here we go. Rawlings Tigers. So we've already seen Reed Mullins, Benson Starling, and Colton Kobletz. Jesus Nunez, as we mentioned, the right-hander on the mound. Miguel Santana Gray hitting 5th, hitting 6th is Wyatt Venners, hitting 7th is Grant Abercrombie, hitting 8th is Carson Power, hitting 9th Carson Woods, hitting 10th is Landry Hudgens. 6-4-3 DP Tigers led off, as we've already seen, by Owen Butcher, the extra hitter, then Alvin Spargo, the first baseman, Hunter Bates hitting 3rd and playing 2nd, hitting 4th is center fielder Aiden McCray. Hitting 5th is Grant Garrison, the extra hitter. Hitting 6th is Cade Holzman, the shortstop. Hitting 7th, catcher Jacob Hammock. Hitting 8th is the pitcher Reed Schechter. Hitting 9th, Cam Albert, the third baseman. Hitting 10th is right fielder Braden Harrier. And hitting 11th and playing left, Christian Graft. Can take a quick break here in studio. We'll rejoin you shortly from Shamrock Classic.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
And we're back. Cory McCartney and Will Hoogendyk with you. Jack McCartney going to be joining us shortly here as our semi-watch party rolls along for this Rawlings Tigers. This 6-4-3 DP Tigers matchup from the Shamrock Classic. We're all scoreless as we move on to inning number 2. And we are going to see, I believe, Jesus Nunez going to lead things off here in the 2nd inning. He will, in fact, do that. So the starting pitcher for Rawlings Tigers going to see if he can get something going for himself at the plate. Reed Schechter returns on the mound for 6-4-3.
And Corey, you mentioned that the top 10 teams will move on from this
Yep.
one. I got to think one of those is going to be the 6-4-3 Cougars. Jack and I were looking at the scores earlier. They have a plus 40 run differential through 2 games.
That's incredible.
Yeah. And that's only 1 less run than they've scored. So they have given up 1 run. They
That's
had a
that's
12-1
insane.
victory and then a 29-0
Wow.
victory.
So the TV Blue Sox are the ones that gave up those
Yes.
40 runs. So they're going to have their work is cut out. They basically got to devour everything in front of them the rest of the way.
Bat 1,000
Yeah,
and then
that's
some.
right. Bouncer back to Schechter, thrown over to first, and Nunez is the first out of the inning. Here comes Miguel Santana Gray. Santana Gray, a Buford 2031. Man, Buford just absolutely produces them. Cannon Golden playing for Ole Miss right now, and then, of course, they have Dexter McLeon Jr. leading the class of 2028. Just a really unbelievable player.
And this Rawlings team has 5 guys that have Buford listed as their high school. Some of them have Buford listed as their middle school, as they're out of Brazelton, Georgia.
Yep, drove through the Buford neck of the woods last night, coming back from that Clemson game.
As that one gets away from Schechter and the catcher.
Yeah, McLeon, as I mentioned, the #1 player in the class of 2028. Of course, Leo Garcia, shortstop, had Leo here during the Super Sophomore games last August. Leo, the 10th ranked player in the nation. So that Buford program, very much a force here in Georgia, and they aren't going anywhere. And lots of talent populating the rosters of other teams, including, as I mentioned, Miguel Santana Gray. He's got a 2-2 count here. Swing and miss. He goes down on strike. Schechter with the nice secondary stuff makes out number 2 look easy.
Do you know if Buford will be at the Battle for Bartow?
They will
tournament as
not,
well?
no.
Okay.
So the Battle for Bartow, I can actually pull up the Battle for Bartow is Lassiter, McEachern, Carrollton, St. Pius X, Newton, Etowah, Stony Brook. Uh-oh, that is going to be trouble. Catcher cuts it off, though, so we will have a base runner.
Where did that bounce away from? First baseman?
Yeah, it looked like it did. That was pulling up that schedule there, and man, yeah, that was bad news. Yeah, so Battle for Bartow, I mentioned the players. So Etowah's going to have Matthew Sharman, Trevor Kahn, Deion Cole, Colin Anderson, Caden Borcherding, McEachern, Chubb Jones Jr., Malachi Butler, Newton, Christopher Guillory, who's a Houston signee, and then St. Pius X doesn't have any notable players right now, but Aiden Ruiz or Stony Brook is a Vanderbilt commit. So there's about 7-8 players there that MLB scouts are definitely going to have their eyes on for this year and next. Yeah, reality, I think you've got 4, if not 5 first-round draft picks that are going to be on our fields for those games. So April 9th and 10th, certainly going to be worth checking out, Battle for Bartow. 1-1 count here. That one is tough down the side, and that is going to be in play. Runner's going to take off for second. Abercrombie making his way into second, and he's got himself a double, and just like that, Rawlings Tigers in business. 2 runners in scoring position here in the top of the second.
Yeah, just snuck it down third base there, got it into the corner, and advanced the base runners for number 16, who is Carson Power, I believe. Yes, it is. Carson Power out of North Gwinnett High School. The 6'1" third baseman, so one of the taller guys on this field right now.
Carson, a 20-30. So he can make some noise here. Runners at second and third. And he does put that one into play. It's going to be down into left field for a base hit. And we have our first run as Power rounds the bag. And obviously 6-4-3, we're seeing them play really well to start things off here before giving up that first run. But Rawlings Tigers, I saw them standing on the first base side there watching this game up against the fence. When you see a team get beat by a run rule ahead of you, the confidence that has to instill in the lineup, regardless of how good Reed Schechter is on the mound, those guys are ready to swing because they just saw a team absolutely do that against this same 6-4-3 squad in the previous game. So looking to capitalize on that, see if Reed Schechter can slam the door after giving up that first run.
Yeah, that does do a lot for confidence. And even though 6-4-3 as the runner goes here,
they get him. They did get him. That's going to bring it into the inning. That is such a dicey play, and you always kind of hold your breath as a coach there, but mission accomplished by 6-4-3. They did give up that first run, though. They trail by 1 as we move to the bottom of the second. We'll be back from the Shamrock Classic.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
It'll be Grant Garrison, Cade Holzman, and Jacob Hammock at the plate for 6-4-3 as we roll along here. Rawlings Tigers now leading 1-0 in our game of the day from the Shamrock Classic. Jesus Nunez returns on the mound for the Rawlings Tigers. Garrison of Westminster, a 2030 will lead things off. 11th prep baseball event for him. And well, you mentioned the amount of upcoming events these guys will have on our fields. These early games will pay dividends because we talked about last week for a lot of these 14U guys getting used to playing on these bigger fields.
That's right.
These innings will prove fruitful when we get a little bit further down the schedule, and they've logged a lot more innings here than some of the competition we'll see when we start seeing out-of-state teams step in. That one goes back foul. And Garrison, Holzman, and Jacob Hammock scheduled to hit for 6-4-3 in this inning. That one just a bit outside, and count will now be 1-1. Big baseball day today as we'll see the World Baseball Classic later today. Man, we'll get some really good matchups in that one. That Venezuela-Japan game is just going to be absolutely bonkers, and then have Puerto Rico and Italy. That one's dribbled to second base, got it. That'd be out number 1. Seth Lugo going to be pitching today for Puerto Rico. Sam Alahedri will be pitching for Italy, and then Ranger Suarez and Yamamoto for Japan. That's going to be a great game between Venezuela and Japan. And of course, the main event everybody's going to be fired up for is going to be Sunday night, USA and the Dominican Republic, and that's just going to be absolute insanity. Paul Skeens against Luis Severino, and
that sounds fun.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot. I mean, that's going to be, I don't know, so obviously every day as a major league pitcher, every lineup you see is good, right? But you could probably, Paul Skeens would probably tell you this will be the best lineup he's probably seen since travel baseball in terms of consecrated talent.
Right.
And, just because of the fact that obviously you get to college, you can't keep all those same kind of players together. Right. You go to the pros, and the talent is spread out a little bit more. But in terms of concentrated.
There you go.
There you go. Concentrated talent. I don't know that Skeens has probably seen a more talented lineup since his travel ball days and what he's going to see out of this.
And also a guy who who doesn't have a ton of postseason. I don't think any postseason experience actually.
Yeah, nope.
And so this
Just
will
for
probably
LSU,
be the
yeah.
most high pressure games.
Yeah, aside
game
from
he's pitched in.
being an LSU Tiger, but
Right.
yes. That one is driven in left field. Camp's underneath it, and that will be out number 2. Yeah, I mean, there's just so many. I mean, just Vlad
There's
Guerrero
no breaks.
Jr., Manny Machado, and just Juan Soto, Tatis. It's just this is going to be
J-Rod, Marte, yeah.
Because certainly if you pitch in an All-Star game, you're going to see some really good hitters in that.
And he does have that
concentrated
experience.
nature. But you're not playing for the same thing.
Right.
Just the energy that these guys have had watching these games is literally like you're watching them play for their high school or travel teams because they're with their boys, they're hanging, they're having fun again. The All-Star game, nobody wants to get hurt. Nobody wants to, it just has a different vibe to it. This is just so hard to replicate what we're seeing in the World Baseball Classic. And that game tomorrow night between the USA and Dominican Republic is going to be a lot of fun.
Well, it only happens every 3 years.
That's
too.
right.
So there's a sense of urgency to win and to do your best.
Well, although I know with the, as Bryce Harper mentioned last weekend with the new collective baseball bargaining agreement, he's really hoping that there's a pathway for them to be able to play in the Olympics. It will require, like the NHL does, MLB taking a couple-week break so these guys can represent their countries. But inning-ending strikeout there for Nunez. We'll have a lot more baseball talk for you as we move along. You're watching the Shamrock Classic. Rawlings Tigers lead 1-0 when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
Oh, really?
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Will Hoogendyk with you. 1-0 lead for Rawlings Tigers as we move on to the third inning in our game of the day from the Shamrock Classic. Again, this one stretching into Sunday evening, and March Madness will be our tournament record next weekend here. So that just the beat goes on as our baseball schedule will be in full swing until pretty much Thanksgiving. Although we'll get a break here in the fall after we get through the feature games and super sophomore games before the fall schedule hits. But there will be plenty going on without question. Reed Schechter's turn on the mound once again here for 6-4-3, and he's got the continuation of Carson Powers' AB. Of course, we had a runner get thrown out at second base to end the second inning, so it'll be Power, Connor Woods, and Landry Hudgens here for Rawlings Tigers in the third. And it's the top of the order with Reed Mullins. Schechter's thrown 21 pitches so far. 3 hits for Rawlings Tigers. Not going to tell you how many hits 6-4-3 DP has, because that would be jinxing Jesus Nunez. That would jinx Jesus Nunez's start. Got to put your trust in Jesus. We're seeing Rawlings Tigers do that right now as they lead 1-0 here in the third. Powers, we mentioned last time that he was up to the plate out of North Gwinnett. So Rawlings Tigers got you see the Georgia Jackets there sitting behind home plate. They will play these Rawlings Tigers right after this game's over with, and this will be the end of the day here for 6-4-3 DP. Get themselves in and out early before it warms up a little bit this afternoon. Never know about the 8 a.m. games here, especially this time of the year. Swing and a miss on that one's going to make it 3-1. The fog can be such an issue here early in the morning, so we do get some delays. Excuse me, that's going to run the count full. But not today. We'll get a little bit warmer. That one is going foul.
Well, I was talking with Maddie before the game. It's always hard in the spring and the fall in Georgia, especially to tell when we've turned the corner.
That's
to
right.
The next season.
There's always just little hints of it. But once that pollen starts showing up on your vehicle, that's when you know it's real.
Yeah, when everything is yellow,
that's
then
right.
It's spring.
Yeah, you mentioned producer Maddie Bullock back there, swing and a miss, a inning opening strikeout of Carson Power, and that's going to bring up Connor Woods. Yeah, pollen in Georgia is sometimes what makes you question what color car you got. Because if you have a dark vehicle, it's going to just look like you're rolling around in a roving pollen machine. So you want to go, if you go with a lighter vehicle, you don't have that problem. Connor Woods now at the plate, another Buford, future Buford player, 2030. Man, what a, there are some schools in the Metro Atlanta area, just the concept of making that school's varsity program has to feel like you're playing for a collegiate team.
Seriously.
And think about Etowah and Buford among them. That one is popped up. Everybody's on the run. Schechter gets it himself, and that was another hold your breath moment when the pitcher starts running down that mound trying to make the play defensively, but calls off his first baseman and makes out number 2 for himself. So he's got the strikeout and he's got the pop out. Let's see what he's got in store here for Landry Hudgens. Hudgens, Buford once again at 2030. Rawlings Tigers going to help to put Buford in a good spot.
I think we're actually at the top of the lineup. I saw number 3, which looks like Reed Mullins.
Okay, so this is Reed Mullins.
Yes, I think we're back through the order once for 6-4-3.
Okay, Reed Mullins out of Mill Creek. Sending that one back foul. Count is 1-2 to Mullins. It's 0 for 1. Rips that one down the first base side, foul.
He did a good job there getting his hands inside.
Yeah.
Just a little late on it, that's all.
Count is 1-2. Rawlings Tigers again. 1 run on 3 hits. Count here is 1-2 to Mullins. And then gets the punch out, 2 strikeouts for Schechter along with the pop out. Does it all himself in the half an inning. Let's see if his offense can pick them up. They trail 1-0 as we roll along in the Shamrock Classic.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
Welcome back, Cory McCartney and Will Hoogendyk with you. I believe we have Jack McCartney in the fold now. If not, he'll be joining us momentarily. Jesus Nunez once again on the mound for Rawlings Tigers. He's got Reed Schechter, the starting pitcher for 6-4-3 at the plate, to be followed by Cam Albert and Braden Harrier. Nunez has looked awfully good. And goes low. Counts now 1-1. Excuse me. Pitch count for Nunez, 34 thus far. Skips that one in front of this catcher. Count's now going to be 3-1. 6-4-3 looking for a base runner. And they do get it via the leadoff walk. So that's now the second walk issued by Nunez, and those are the only 2 base runners for 6-4-3 in this one, so I'll let you do the hit math on that. There's Cam Albert.
Nunez throws over to first, but umpire says he's safe, so gets the ball back.
Albert, Mount Vernon 2030, fourth pet baseball event for him. He dribbles that into left field, and that now we can say is the first hit of the game for 6-4-3 off the bat of Cam Albert. Oh, and they're happy to get that one out of the way here in the 3rd inning.
And quickly 2 on with an opportunity.
That's right.
For Braden Harrier.
Harrier, North Paulding 2029. This is prep baseball event number 10 for him, swinging that pink bat. Miss high from Nunez. Have you seen the Victus pencil bats and the crayon bats yet?
I don't think I have. No,
you will. Yeah, you're gonna see some. You're gonna see some good ones as the spring and summer roll along. The ability now to express yourself via your weapon of choice is pretty awesome.
I do remember seeing. I think there was an MLB player that had a pencil bat in the All-Star game.
Yep.
I want to say it was. I don't remember who it
Well,
was.
when they do like Players Weekend, they're allowed to do whatever they want. You know,
Right.
like guys like with like fish tank in the head of their bats, like all kinds of crazy stuff. But we have different limits. Obviously, we're more worried here about the length of the bat, what drop is it, and then when we get to the wood bat season, which with the variety of wood bat tournaments in the summertime.
Well, and I was
bats are a lot
actually
more fun.
looking just for fun at some of the rules, and they have a little list of the banned bats, which isn't too long, but
No, you can't use like a drop 12 as a this age group. You have lightning in your hands then.
and the field size would not matter
That's
at
right.
all.
Counts now 3-1 here to Harrier. Chops him off inside. That one's down the third base side foul. Can he make a play on it? He in fact can. Man, our camera did not. Our camera's a little angled too much to get that corner over there. But nice run there. Make the out. I believe that was third base making that catch. So an important out now with 2 on. So now 1 down. So Harrier is out. Bring up the last hitter in the order for 6-4-3, and that's Christian Graft. Graft to Lassiter 2030.
And 6-4-3 DP had only 2 hits in their game against Georgia Jackets right before this. So it's got to feel good to have base runners and a hit already.
That's right.
And still just with 1 out, too, so plenty of opportunity here.
Graft swings through that, counts now 0-2 to the Lassiter 2030. I was talking to the father of Preston Dean, a Barry freshman catcher, yesterday. Another Lassiter product. Oh, holds off on that. Nearly got him to bite in the off speed.
And the Georgia Jackets exploded for a 9-run 3rd inning.
Yikes.
I'm sure it was a very, very long inning for 6-4-3.
Yeah, I got in here to start prep for this one and looked up 9-0 in the 3rd and thought, man, this is getting out of hand. And certainly did. So a quick start to the day for 6-4-3, trying to make up for it here as they trail 1-0. Goes down on strikes. So Graft struck out, and now there's 2 down for the top of the order now with Owen Butcher. Can Butcher make something happen? 2 on. Real opportunity to see if the Campbell 2029 can cash in. This could be a moment 6-4-3 wants back if this does not turn out in their favor. Nunez misses inside.
And honestly, Butcher's the guy you want to go to right now. He was the one run in the game against Georgia Jackets. He also had a hit as well. He went 1 for 2. So if there's any guy that is feeling it in any way right now for 6-4-3, it's got to be Butcher.
Well, Butcher skies that one. Everybody's on the run. Who's got it? First base does. They strand two, and man, you know 6-4-3 is going to want that moment back with a couple ducks in the pond. They can't cash in, continue to trail 1-0. We'll be back from the Shamrock Classic.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
We are back. Cory McCartney, Will Hoogendyk. Now Jack McCartney on the 1s and 2s with us here. And we are on to the 4th inning, a 1-0 lead for Rawlings Tigers. It'll be Benson, Starling, Colton, Koblenz, and Jesus Nunez at the plate for Rawlings Tigers, as that'll be the number 2, 3, and 4 hitters in their order. Reed Schechter back on the mound for 6-4-3. Finally saw the 6-4-3 variation of the Tigers get that first hit of the game. And Jack, you were over there a little bit. What was the vibe like around this 6-4-3 team after losing by a run rule and then have to quickly turn around and play another game?
One, when you have a game like that previously where you do let up nine runs in 1 inning.
Yeah.
They ended up going in for the last inning, scored 1 run, and then Georgia Jackets goes on and still scores another run to end up actually making it a mercy rule again, and then having to come back out there.
But you still had that kernel that you broke through. And now you've but of course you'd have what they just had happen in the 3rd inning when you've got runners at 2nd and 3rd with nobody out, and then you can't capitalize. So I think they're going to want that moment back, especially if that 1 run is the only one that Rawlings Tigers ends up with, because Reed Schechter has looked pretty good. He's 36 pitches in now.
Yeah, after 3 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, but 3 strikeouts, and the last half inning too was pretty dominant with two of those 3 coming in that inning, and then also the pop up that he fielded himself.
Well, another pop up here. Everybody's on the run. Nearly hits our new studio. You put a dent in that thing, we send bills. Starling, hands on head, but he will make his way back to the box, and this AB will continue. So when that thing gets done, we're going to have a net over top of it, because I've already talked to them about, like, if you ever get in the scout tower here, it's like it will scare you when the ball hits that metal roof. And being inside a metal box, it could get really dicey. So there will be some netting on top of there. And so, yeah, that new studio coming soon will be very cool. We'll be able to do some really, really neat things out of that one, including we did a little bit of this last year where we, a la ESPN and Fox Sports, where we can have live talkbacks with the player in-game. We will be able to do that from our new studio to take people way too far into broadcast technology. A system called Teradek. It has a trouble cutting through all these metal buildings into metal boxes, but we'll be able to pull it off when we're right next to the field. Shortstop has it. The throw stretches out, and that will be out number 1. So Starling grounds out for the first out. So we'll be able to do those. It's a lot of weird mechanics with it, though, because a guy has to have an AirPod in, and then we have to have an AirPod in to be able to literally talk to them. We have a camera trained right on them, and then we beam it into our studio so we can see what the camera holds via the Teradek, and then we talk to them live and get to see them in action. So it's a lot of fun. It's a little crazy to be a part of, but we'll be able to do a lot more cool things like that once our new setup is able to be released to the people here.
I've actually seen them do that with some golfers. I saw them do it last year, where they would they'd hit their tee shot, put an AirPod in as they're walking down the fairway, talk to the guys in the booth, and then hit their next shot, maybe do it again.
It's really cool technology. I mean, when it works, and we've done it, we've been able to do it. It's just when right now we're not right next to the field, but we will be right next to the field when that new studio is done, and we'll be able to pull off things like that. It's just right now being a little bit more detached from it. If you're familiar with the layout of the baseball village, we're more in the crossroads directly behind the Rawlings store, so it is a ways that it has to travel, even with an extension on that tear deck receiver. So it can be a little problematic. There's a 1-out walk there to Colton Koblitz, and they'll bring up Jesus Nunez.
And that's Schechter's first walk, and it looks like the coach will come out and have a word, just make sure he's still feeling good. Looks like his day's done.
All right, so that'll be it for Reed Schechter. Makes me think that quite possibly they might be holding on to him should they get an opportunity to play in bracket play or a consolation game. So a pitching change for 6-4-3. We will tell you about that new arm when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Will Hoogendyk, Jack McCartney with you. 1-0 is the lead for Rawlings Tigers, and we have a new arm on the mound for 6-4-3 as they're now going to roll with Dylan Frisbee. So does he throw the baseball like he throws a Frisbee? That's what everyone wants to know. We're going to find out here momentarily.
That'd be pretty tricky,
especially
if he's a lefty, too.
Yeah, could be more sidearm. Now, it's more 3/4. It's not quite there, but nonetheless, a Frisbee thrower on the mound for 6-4-3 as they try to get the limitations here on a Rawlings Tigers team that's got another base runner with Jesus Nunez stepping to the plate here with 1 down in the 4th. Frisbee, a Lassiter 2030 16th prep baseball event for him.
And I'm sure a fun one because I'm looking at his profile here and it says his very first prep baseball event was the Shamrock Classic back in 2023.
Yeah.
He came in 2024 as well. Missed it last year, but otherwise I'm sure it's got good memories for him tied up in the Shamrock Classic. And like you said, it's his 16th, but he's also got plenty more on the calendar for this year as he looks to that high school season for Lassiter in the fall.
He's got Nunez at the plate, misses arm side for ball 1. Goes right back to that same spot, gets a strike this time.
And the final line on the day for Schechter, 3 1/3 inning pitch, 3 hits, 1 run.
Oh, runner takes off. The throw is going to be bouncing in front of the second baseman, and we will have a runner at second.
Looked like the timing was there. The throw was just a little short. Catcher was up quick, and we saw him had that risky throw in that second inning, I think it was, where he threw out the runner and prevented the run from scoring. But Schechter with the walk and then 3 strikeouts for his final line. And that walk was the last thing that he issued to the man who's now on second, Colton Koblitz.
It's Jacob Hammock, by the way, behind the plate for 6-4-3. 3-1 count.
Back-to-back walks for 6-4-3. Creating an opportunity for Rawlings as now
Miguel Santana Gray's up.
I believe he's one of those Buford guys you were talking about. And I noticed also, Cory, on the Rawlings Tigers 14U roster Elijah Bandu, who was featured on our Instagram
That's right.
and all our social profiles yesterday with his highlight, his home run. So go check that out. Maybe we'll see him later in this game.
Yeah, I didn't know. I don't know if I saw him pregame. Sometimes these guys will have players that are available to them that are part of their organization but may not be playing specifically in this event, as Grayson's that one foul. So runners at first and second here for a Rawlings Tigers team that already leads 1-0. They've chased starting pitcher Reed Schechter for 6-4-3, and they've now turned things over to Dylan Frisbee. Frisbee missing more arm side than anything. Sometimes alleviate that by simply is loading up on the far side of the rubber. Another miss. Jack, we were talking World Baseball Classic. Who do you like in these semifinal matchups?
I really enjoy watching the Dominican Republic.
Yeah. Well, they play the U.S. tomorrow.
They do.
Yeah, but today you got Peru and Italy, and then you got Venezuela and Japan, which might end up being the best game of, I don't know, maybe I say the best game of the weekend, because that U.S.A. Dominican Republic game is going to be insane. But it sort of feels like those are the best two games of these semifinals. Throwback to second is not in time, because you got Ranger Suarez against Yamamoto, which is like a postseason matchup.
I mean, with the Japan team is very
Stacked?
It's stacked. Both teams are stacked, but you either have the fun of playing or you have the regimented, this is what we do.
That's a drive into center field right into the glove of the center fielder, and that will be hauled in by Aiden McCray for out number 2. So are you trying to say that Team Japan's not having fun?
I mean, when you watch these Latin teams play,
these guys are really into it. I think there's just because I think they get that opportunity. Their communities are so much smaller, and I think it allows them to really just like have that feel of like I talked about before with like that travel ball kind of high school vibe, and plus the fact that so many of them, they go back and play in the Winter League, but so many of them coming up got signed as youngsters and were put into these different organizations at very young ages. They didn't get a chance to play
college ball,
and play during those formative years like some of the guys from other countries got to. So I think maybe that has something to do with it as well. But regardless, it's just so much fun, and just the energy is just so insane. It's a blast.
Well, I think another thing is with the Venezuela team and the Dominican Republic team and all those teams, they go in, they sign at such a young age, and then they go out and play somewhere else.
Yeah.
In Japan, they have their own league, and a lot of those guys play in that league, so they see each other all the time. It's like basically just going to work again. So I think with the more Latin teams, they don't see these guys for a long period of time, or they'll see them at some events or when they play each other. And with Japan, they're so used to being together that it's just like...
Yeah. Well, covering the Braves, like we would have times when, and I know Braves fans don't want to hear this kind of stuff, but back when Juan Soto was a Washington National, we would sit in the press box and we'd watch Soto go out and hang out with Acuna, and those guys, like, there's a lot of camaraderie there.
Oh yeah.
And certainly now you get to, one of them obviously is Venezuela, the other one's is on that Dominican Republic team. But watching these guys kind of get this opportunity now to put that country across their chest, and it just does make you excited. As producer Maddie was asking about the impact of this on what this is going to mean, what this means for the Olympics. I think it just ramps up the excitement around it. I mean, you heard Bryce Harper said, "This is great, but it's not a gold medal."
Right.
And I think maybe that's the American stance on it. Maybe this is as big as a gold medal for some of these countries, but I think it's going to make the interest level in baseball for the Olympics in LA just it's just going to grow exponentially. I think people are going to be. This feeling is going to carry into it.
Yeah. Well, and it helps that it's just 2 years before. Too.
Third baseman can't glove that one. Here comes run number 2 off the air. Are they going to get another one? Yep, here comes it. Going to be all kinds of trouble. Rawlings Tigers, some serious speed. Play at the plate is not in time. Back all the way to the wall, and the runner is going to be standing at third. And wow, chaos for Rawlings Tigers. They now lead 3-0 here in the fourth, and man.
That's a big 2-run error.
Yeah, that sure was a huge error for 6-4-3. And Rawlings Tigers, I mentioned that the back pick throw can be so tough because if the third baseman or first baseman is not completely prepared for that throw,
goes all the way down.
You can have everybody running to try to catch up to that baseball, and that's exactly what just happened there. Rawlings Tigers now making it 3-0 here in the fourth inning. And they have another runner in scoring position standing at third base. Grant Abercrombie at the plate, who we've already seen double.
And also to what you're saying about the World Baseball Classic, again, I think it helps that it's only 2 years before the Olympics.
Yeah.
But also the Olympics has been going on since 1896. So it's a lot more historic, than the World Baseball Classic for a lot of guys. But I think, Jack, also to what you were saying too, it is fun to see the nation's identity or spirit kind of come through these different teams. I think that's what people like about watching international tournaments like the Olympics or the World Baseball Classic anyway, is that you do get to see things that you don't get to witness as much when you're watching an MLB game or an NHL game or something like that.
If you like this vibe, just wait till the next couple months here in the United States, and of course here in Atlanta when we got the World Cup coming, because that is going to be ratcheted up. We think these guys are into baseball.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
just wait.
Yeah, just wait. It's gonna be incredible.
Are there any games where there's a Braves game, or any days where there's a Braves game and a World Cup
Oh,
game?
I'm sure there are.
Yeah.
Yeah, MLB could honestly care less about another event and how that corresponds to their schedule, which makes the Olympics thing kind of interesting because are they going to cow down to the oh man, another miscue. Catcher can't field that. Another run scores for Rawlings Tigers, makes it 4-0. Runners at the corners, man, and that was just, you thought maybe they were going to get out of the inning, limit damage, but unfortunately a tough moment there as everybody comes running in on that ball and nobody can make the play, and Rawlings Tigers just another run aboard via an error. This makes it 4-0. 3 runs here in this inning, all of them off of errors.
Cory, just another moment there that's scary to watch as a coach or even as a fan, where I think there was 5 guys that collapsed on that ball.
Yeah.
And just no one yelling loud enough or communicating mine.
And it's obviously, it's always going to be a little bit easier for the guy running in on the ball, like a shortstop, to be able to do that. You don't necessarily want the pitcher running down off the mound to get that. It can always be tough for the catcher having to strip off that mask. But a tough play basically for everybody involved. Kind of dropped into no man's land there. But it does result in another Rawlings Tigers run to make it 4-0. So Connor Woods is at the plate. 4 runs on 3 hits.
Behind 0-2 though. So we'll see if 6-4-3 can get a pitch.
Yeah, Frisbee try to see if they can get out of here, limit any further damage, see if their offense can pick them up as we go to the bottom of the 4th. He does get that inning-ending strikeout. 6-4-3 going to try to regroup and get on the board as we move along in the Shamrock Classic.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Will Hoogendyk, Jack McCartney with you. 4-0 is now the Rawlings Tigers lead over the 6-4-3, the P Tigers. Rawlings scoring 4 runs in the third. 3 runs in the fourth, excuse me, to pad this lead, taking advantage of some miscues from 6-4-3. And Jesus Nunez returns on the mound. He's allowed just 1 hit so far, 3 strikeouts. He's going to be facing off against Alvin Spargo, Hunter Bates, and Aiden McCray, the number 2, 3, and 4 hitters for 6-4-3 as they try to mount some kind of an answer here. Time not a factor. We've still got lots of that on the clock as we sit here in the 4th inning. Again, that has moved somewhat quickly. Spargo, the Etowah 2030, going to step in. Miss inside from Nunez. Be interested to see how 6-4-3 comes out offensively after that. You got a 1-run game, and all of a sudden a couple mistakes turn things on their head, and now looking up at a crooked number on the scoreboard. Now 2-0. See if they can get themselves a leadoff walk here from Spargo to start things off. But really feels like a really crucial inning for them. Do you respond? Do you come out with energy? See how 6-4-3 does here. And that one is ripped down the side. 82.6 off his bat, but third baseman has it, and that will be out number 1. Hard hit ball from Spargo, but not enough. And now the 1 down as they move along in the order to Hunter Bates.
And Nunez working pretty efficiently. He's got 54 pitches right now. This next one will be his 55th. He's faced 13 guys, so just about 4 pitches per batter.
This is high.
Gone through the 6-4-3 lineup about 1.5 times, I think.
Jack, Will was talking about the orange accents here for Rawlings Tigers. You were down there on the field before the game. These guys finding a way to accessorize here and making these uniforms look good.
Yeah, they all have the Jordan 1 orange cleats, which have been pretty cool to,
yeah.
Pretty cool to see. The Rawlings Tigers catcher I saw has socks that are yellow, orange, and red, but he also has pink batting gloves and a pink and turquoise leg guard.
Wow.
So he was real tropical out there.
Nice. very neon. Well, I've also seen a couple of their bats. They have a yellow bat that I've seen a few players use. I think you mentioned one of them has a pink bat, too.
Yeah,
or was that
yeah.
6-4-3?
Yeah.
And the camo looks good with any bright colors.
It sure does. Well, Hunter Bates is aboard via that 1-out walk, and now here comes Aiden McCray. McCray, the 4th hitter in the order for 6-4-3, and mentioned the Walker 2030 Rising Stars preseason All-State earlier this month. Really an opportunity for some of these 2030s to get on the radar as we start looking ahead towards junior feature game teams. It's got an 0-1 count. He rips that one down the left side, and there's no way that was a 66-mile-an-hour exit below. He got a hold of that one. Counts now 0-2.
I was going to say 1 mile per hour more than the pitch speed.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
And Jack, we saw some EVs, eye-popping EVs last night in that Clemson-Georgia Tech game. A fly out to center field from Drew Burris, 108 miles an hour.
Yeah, that Georgia Tech lineup is insane. They are so good at hitting that ball as hard as they can. I have never seen such high EVs back to back to back. I mean, they were hitting balls 100 plus that were going right back to the middle infielders and outfielders, and it was just insane to watch.
That one's ripped in the outfield, I think.
Yeah, camera did not cut over for that one, so we have a much needed hit for 6-4-3. Now they'll have runners at first and second with 1 out. So McCray's aboard, and that'll bring up Grant Garrison. That was 76.5 off the bat of McCray. That'll be it for Jesus Nunez. We have our pitching change for the Rawlings Tigers. Nunez out after 63 pitches with 1 out here in the 4th. Got a new arm. We'll tell you all about him when we come back from LakePoint.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
Welcome back, Cory McCartney, Will Hoogendyk, Jack McCartney with you. We do have a new arm on the mound for the Rawlings Tigers, and a little tough to tell off these uniforms. Believe that's number
7, I think.
Our scoreboard has not updated yet, so believe that is going to be Grant Abercrombie, who's already hit himself a double in this one. Looks like Grant's the new pitcher for the Rawlings Tigers. We'll see once our scoreboard updates if we are correct, but he's got Grant Garrison with 2 on and 1 out. Saw Aiden McCray get hit number 2 in this game for 6-4-3, and it is in fact Abercrombie on the mound.
You talked about not being able to see it. That's why they're wearing cameras.
That's right. Well, just think if you literally, like, if you played a bunch of games here and you wanted to create Digicamo, but you made it look like our field's Digicamo, then you would never be able to tell whether or not the outfielder had the ball because he would be so blended in.
Well, what about their gloves?
Well, I mean,
well, you'd have to buy a black glove.
Or a green glove.
But if it's black, then it blends in with the
I'm talking strategy here, so.
I'm talking the fence.
Well, that's, yeah, all right. Abercrombie gets strike 1 in this matchup against Garrison. Fouls that one back. He's just pumping in strikes here. Last pitch at 70 miles an hour. Not only we talked about baseball in the upcoming World Baseball Classic schedule, college basketball is the topic du jour across so much of sports right now. Oh, it just misses on that. Nice looping secondary, but makes it 1-2. We got some big games on the scoreboard here. Currently got Cornell and Yale, Vermont and UMBC underway into the Ivy League semifinals and the American East final. Abercrombie gets some backup from his defense, able to turn 2, and that's going to bring it into the inning. Nice defensive work. Rawlings Tigers, they're up 4-0. 6-4-3 DP can't cash in again with runners on the base pass. We'll be back with more. You're watching the Shamrock Classic.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Will Hoogendyk, Jack McCartney with you. And you just saw a great defensive work, a double play to bring it into the inning, and at 6-4-3 stranded some more base runners. So nice defensive work behind Grant Abercrombie after he came in that one. Might be in play for our Aspen Hospitality Group Moment That Matters. You'll have to stick around for our post-game show for that one. Dylan Frisbee still on the mound for 6-4-3, and we are going through the men's basketball schedule. Jack, what are the big games on the slate for today?
Well, I mean, you've got the Big Ten semifinals with ranked 23rd Wisconsin and number 3 ranked Michigan. In the semifinals for the SEC, you've got Vanderbilt, who's number 22, and Florida, who's number 4, and it's in Nashville. So you can have a little bit of the college atmosphere there for Vanderbilt. And you've got Houston, Arizona in the Big 12 championship game. And the Big 12 changed what they're playing on in the middle of the tournament, in the beginning of the tournament.
Oh, that's right. They had that crazy. Did you see that field?
Mm-mm.
So the court was like glass, and they could like do cool like animations and video and stuff on it.
Wow.
I mean, it was pretty sweet, but yeah, the players did not like it. Jack, they complained. Right now, they've gone back to the normal playing surface.
Yeah, they switched because of many of the players were arguing that the glass was too slick and that the balls were more inflated due to the fact that it was a different playing surface. Coach complains, and so the Big 12 stepped up and said, we're actually going to switch back. So that was pretty cool. But also in the Big East final, you've got UConn who's number 6 and St. John's who's number 13. And then in the ACC championship game, you've got UVA, who's number 10, and Duke, who's number 1. You go 3 miles down the road, in the CUSA championship game, you've got Kennesaw State versus Louisiana Tech.
Well, we're rolling along in this one. Landry Hudgens is going to be the hitter for Rawlings Tigers. Last batter in the order. He'll be followed by Reed Mullins and then Benson Starling. This is Christian Graff now on the mound for 6-4-3. So some good matchups on the basketball side. Kind of funny thinking about Vermont. I mentioned them playing in the America East Finals right now. Kind of a funny story that kind of makes you realize when you're in media that people actually do pay attention. When I was at Sports Illustrated covering college basketball, they asked me to do something on it was like the top 10 coaches under 30. And so I put Vermont's coach on there, but then once we pushed it out, I was talking with an editor, and it's like, yeah, we really need to have this coach on there. And so we bumped the Vermont coach off. But Vermont's coach had taken that article and sent it out to all their respective recruits. So he ended up calling me, and then we ended up expanding the list because they were using it as a recruiting tool. So power in media. So you wield a pen, wield a keyboard, you have more power than you realize. Count's not going to be full here. So Landry Hudgens.
Graff an imposing presence, especially
sure
for
is.
Hudgens. There's about 10 inches of difference.
Yeah, when you think about extension, when you get down the mound, and Hudgens gets a strikeout. It's a nice job to start off this appearance here from Graff. Christian Graff started off in left field for 6-4-3. Now back to the top of the order, and Reed Mullins, who's 0 for 2. Rawlings Tigers, 4 runs on 3 hits. Sends that one foul. That one's going to be in play. Mullins puts that down, and he has his first hit of the game. And then it'll be hit number 4 here for the Rawlings Tigers as we sit in the 5th inning. Just ropes that off down into right field and got himself a 1-out single on Benson Starling's turn.
You mentioned they have 4 runs on 4 hits, but really, I mean, half their runs have come from that one error.
Yeah, and then another error resulted in another run.
Right.
So, yeah, we've seen 3 of their 4 runs coming via some miscues defensively for 6-4-3.
Probably for them doesn't feel like they've done a whole lot. I mean, they've been on base a good bit, but in terms of RBIs, just the 1.
So, Jack, you said Kennesaw State, they're playing in the CUSA Championship at 8:30, and that's in Huntsville, Alabama. So, that's a bouncer. Takes it off the rebound. The runner will be at second. Nice job watching the flight of that ball back into the glove, but stops the runner from going any further than second base. But Kennesaw State 20-13, and Louisiana Tech for that CUSA championship. The big question, though, what happens to Miami of Ohio after their undefeated year ends in the MAC tournament? You know, a lot of Bruce Pearl, the former Auburn coach, now an analyst, was saying he doesn't think they deserve an at-large bid, despite the fact that they had an undefeated regular season.
I mean, when you look at their games, though, they ended up the 30 wins were by like a minimal amount of points. They beat minimal good teams minimally. Like, it was not fun to watch. They were going to overtime.
I would say that your buy-in on them as an at-large team is minimal.
Yes.
Okay.
They won many games in overtime.
That's in for a strike and a 3-0. But you win every game that's in front of you in the regular season. What more can you? This is the same argument that we have with when it comes to, you know, group of 5 teams in the college football playoff. And who do you leave out, who do you put in, and then what happens when they get into the situation where they're facing those teams with a lot higher NIL budgets and more 4 and 5 stars on their roster, and what happens when those two products meet up on the field of play. I mean, it's sort of what creates the magic of college sports and the reality of the differences in revenue streams and talent pools.
Well, that's kind of like, I think of like James Madison Oregon game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you want to see that? Or do you want to say, yeah, maybe this team is going to be Butler and they're going to go on a run. They'll throw to third. This time makes the stop and stops it from going any further, but runner does advance to third. But if you don't give these guys the chance, we don't ever have those runs where Butler plays for a national championship. We don't have Gonzagas that come up and become powers because they got those opportunities and built themselves through those chances. Certainly it's what makes the basketball. I mean, obviously, you're playing one basketball game. You feel like things could end up breaking Cinderella's way. Just the reality of a 60-minute college football game, to think that James Madison is going to be able to hold court with in Oregon is not a reality. But it happens in baseball. It happens in basketball. So I think you got to give those teams a chance. We'll see if Miami, Ohio gets that, or if they somehow have to, just suck it up and go play in the NIT. But hopefully that doesn't happen. Hopefully they do get that large opportunity. And I say that not just because my brothers are graduated from Miami, Ohio. Runners at the corners for Rawlings Tigers, already up 4-0 as we sat here in the 5th inning. Runner takes off for second. The hit and run is on. Going to retreat to first base as the shortstop makes that catch. Double play opportunity was in play there for 6-4-3, but smart base running, retreats to first. So now 2 down. This is Nunez's spot in the order. Is he still hitting? Get a read on that number to see if Nunez is still in the game. That is still number 11, so Jesus Nunez still hitting. And it takes off for second, holds on to it this time. All right, count is 0-1 here to Nunez. He ropes that into center field. McCray has it, slides down to his knee, and that'll bring it into the inning. 4-0 continues to be the lead for Rawlings Tigers. Some nice defensive work that we've seen in both of the last half innings. We'll be back with more. You're watching the Shamrock Classic.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweet. sweets. Smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Will Hoogendyk, Jack McCartney with you. 4-0 lead for Rawlings Tigers. Grant Abercrombie returns on the mound for 6-4-3. We'll see if he can continue to hold up what's been a really good performance here for these Rawlings Tigers. So far in this one, they've allowed no runs on 2 hits and 4 runs on 4 hits of their own. We're out in the order for 6-4-3. They'll be sending up Cade Holzman, then Jacob Hammock and Reed Schechter.
Now through 8 innings of play, 6-4-3 only has 4 hits to show for, so it's been a pretty discouraging start to the tournament for them. They'd like to get some people on base, try and...
Yeah, 1 run, and they had twice in this game, they've had 2 runners in scoring position and were unable to break through. So the moments have been there. They just have not been able to take advantage of them. And we'll see if they can try to get something going here in this 5th inning. Abercrombie's thrown 4 pitches so far, coming in relief of Jesus Nunez. Holzman is 0 for 1. He'll lead things off again, followed by the catcher Jacob Hammock and Reed Schechter, who was the starting pitcher for 6-4-3.
Well, and you mentioned that opportunity that 6-4-3 had. I think it was in the 2nd inning, as that one's hit well high into the air. And I think it dropped, but we'll hold off on second base for a long single.
All right, so 6-4-3 gets something going here in the 5th inning, as that one did drop down for a leadoff hit.
So now 3 hits.
Now 3 hits. So Holzman's aboard, and this is Hammock.
And Hammock will definitely be looking to get some redemption. He's been behind the plate for 6-4-3. He was the one who threw it away from that 3rd baseman. And so if he could keep the offensive engine running, that'd mean a lot to his teammates. That'd mean a lot to him as well.
So you talk about the oddity of the weather this time of year. We have a heater in our studio going along with an air conditioner, and the air conditioner is now kicking on because it's starting to get a little bit warmer out there. So
there's about 26 degrees of difference.
Yeah, so we're gonna have a tornado in the middle here where they'll meet up. So
studio might blow away.
Yeah, Jim Cantori is gonna have to come in here and do a report from our studio. That's a strike, makes it 1-2. But Jack, you're back in the frigid air of the production room. Okay, we're good. All right. The vortex that's in here. Abercrombie misses on the secondary. Counts now 2-2. Goes back to it, misses again. Counts now going to be full. So opportunity maybe knocking again for 6-4-3, especially if they can get 2 on with nobody out.
Cory, Abercrombie has a funky delivery almost. It looks like when he throws the ball, he turns his head away from the target, that is his catcher.
Let's watch this one in motion.
See his head just turn to his left, and
yeah, it does glance away. That one is popped up. Shortstop has it. It'll be out number 1 as runner retreats to first. Maybe he's just, maybe he's just being shy in that last moment.
putting more effort into the velocity.
That's right. Reed Schechter's turn now. Still keeping the hat on, though. As I mentioned, that happened a lot last year, but holding on. They're all keeping the hats on this year. I'm happy to see that.
Well, it's funny, when I was editing the highlights for this week, I saw multiple clips that I noticed after you had said the hats will come off. And I was like, oh, yes, they did. They did indeed.
That's a strike.
Another shameless plug to catch all our highlights, weekly highlights.
That's right, across all of our social media channels.
Post them every day.
Yep, the players absolutely love seeing those coming out of our tournaments. That one's going to go all the way into center field. So many guys will hit us up on social and be like, hey, I had a double, I had a triple, I homered. I struck out 10 guys. Where's my highlight? Do the best we can to try to present as much as we can from these events. It's a lot harder when we get into the summer months and we see some really high-level players here across campus, a lot of commits, a lot of MLB prospects.
I would be surprised if we didn't see one out of that 29-0 game. I haven't looked at the box score for that one, but just by score alone.
Ooh, that one stopped by the catcher. Nice job behind the plate from stopping that from going any further.
Abercrombie seems to be missing kind of high and away inside on these righties a lot.
Yeah, he was dialed in when he came in relief of Nunez, but having a little bit more difficulty locating here in this second inning of work, and that'll be an out. A walk, excuse me. A runner will advance to third. Is he going to hold there? He's going to go halfway between first and second and retreat to the bag.
And you mentioned he started the inning with 4 pitches. He's now at 19, so he's thrown 15 just to 2 batters, too. Or actually 3, because they have 1 out. But he's not been hitting his target nearly as much, as the catcher will come out to have a word with him. 22 for 6-4-3 will come to bat, Cam Albert.
Albert's 1 for 1. So he's got one of the now 3 hits in this game for 6-4-3. They've got runners at the corners here with 1 out. In need of a breakthrough. This is the 3rd time in this game they've had 2 runners aboard. Is this the moment in which they finally capitalize on these opportunities? Swing, miss. They had 1 run in their first game against Georgia Jackets. Those Jackets getting dressed behind you. Our Scout Tower changing room counts out 2-1. Teenage boys will get changed anywhere. There's humility is not part of the equation. Roped into left field. There comes that first run for 6-4-3. They'll again have runners at the corners. So they get that breakthrough. Game is now 4-1 here in the 5th. Let's see if they can build on that and keep the good times rolling.
And Albert now 2 for 2, picking up an RBI on that. Runners at the corners. Would not be surprised if he goes to steal here. Chase Hammond is at the plate. Still just 1 out. So we mentioned with the first batter, it's going to be the opportunity for 6-4-3 to try and capitalize, try and get back in this one, try not be held scoreless.
So Albert delivers, and now it's Braden Harrier, the right fielder. Harrier, North Paulding 2029. Skies that one. And that will be foul.
Or did they say he's out?
Oh, okay, he was out.
Who caught it?
Must have been the left fielder, because I didn't look like the third baseman was.
I was say, it looked like they all kind of were just watching it go out of play, but I guess, maybe the left fielder caught it.
Right, here's Christian Graff's turn now. Graff is taking over on the mound for 6-4-3.
Graff would love if he could give himself some more peace of mind with an RBI hit here.
Runner takes off. Going to have him in a rundown. Nope, hold on to it. Throws back to first. Not in time. So once again have runners at the corners. That's that moment. You know that third base coach is like, you got to be trucking down the line when I give you that call to see if you can take advantage and get him into get that additional insurance run. But they'll again have runners at the corners. Going to try it again. The throw to second. That's sailing high into center field. Another run for 6-4-3. So the overthrow by the catcher makes it 4-2. So they tried it again. That time they are able to take advantage and cut this lead in half here in the 5th inning with 2 runs. 6-4-3 manufacturing something here in the 5th. They're after the plate now. Runner at second.
So how would you respond to that as a coach if there's 2 opportunities in a row where the runner's seems a little bit half-hearted with his effort to steal when you're down by 3?
Yeah, I think the catcher, you just hold on to the ball. Oh boy. Graff gets hit in the back. I think that's what you there's no reason to create opportunities for a team that's been struggling offensively and now in their second game. So don't put the ball into play for no reason. Just allow the guy running to second base doesn't matter. Right. But if you make that throw and you give that guy at third a chance, that changes everything. Now we've got a 2-run ball game with the tying run at the plate.
Well, and then also thankfully for the catcher, I mean, it got by the guy at second, but not too far by because then that could have been a double steal.
That's right.
And then we mentioned that Abercrombie was missing kind of inside and high on those righties, and there's more of Graff to hit as he's 6'1", we mentioned earlier, so I think that's why he hit him with that ball. But there's 2 on again for 6-4-3.
Owen Butcher back at the plate, the leadoff hitter, or if you are a fan of the South Central Louisiana State University Mud Dogs, Boucher. There's your Waterboy reference, Jack. I thought you'd come in with that with a little of what Mama said. And he's gone silent.
I was just wondering if I couldn't hear him, if my volume wasn't turned up all the way.
All right, counts now 2-2 here to the leadoff hitter. Skies that one back. Foul, it'd be well out of play.
Time still not a huge factor in this one. It's like 29 minutes on the clock, but you said
so you take about 50. You take 15 off that, so we got about 14 minutes of game time remaining.
So I guess it could be a little bit. I mean, you want to do something here if you're 6-4-3. Well, you've put in the work to get 2 guys on.
Yeah. Well, the good news is for them, if they time out, it probably means that they came back and got themselves enough runs to win this ball game, being the home team. Or they get another opportunity in a 6th inning.
And if he puts this in play, there's an opportunity to score 2. I mean, with a full count, both runners will be going on 2 outs as well.
There you go, the payoff pitch. Oh, man, just misses. That would have been 2 runs if that goes down the first base line.
Yes, it would have.
Could have had ourselves a tie game, but we'll see if Butcher can replicate that. Maybe just put it a little bit, about 4 inches to the left. Another payoff pitch, and he'll be aboard via the walk, and bases are now loaded as Alvin Spargo steps in. So the Etowah 20-30, man, can he have the moment for 6-4-3 here in the 5th? Could be a game changer. I think we may be getting a mound visit here. So some hesitation on the mound here from Abercrombie. So we just saw the second
pitching change.
Yeah, so we just saw the second baseman roll off. I'm sure he's going to be changing out to put on some different shoes to get on the mound. So we just saw some machinations behind them, moving guys into second base and left into right field.
Yeah, right fielder came to second, and a new guy came out into right field.
Not enough time to really go out and get warmed up in the bullpen, so we'll see if he gets into trouble. We could quickly see a pitching change here for Rawlings Tigers. Counts down 0-2 to Spargo. 2 down in the inning. Bases are loaded. 6-4-3 has scored 2 runs in this inning to cut the lead in half, but the biggest opportunity of this game thus far for them sits in the hands of Alvin Spargo. He's got a dribbler that's going foul.
Spargo really looking hungry with that one. He really wants to get something in play here.
And I think if you're Abercrombie, you feed off that, right? You've already seen a guy that's, you know, maybe he goes. We've seen him throw that nice looping curve. Can he get one of those a little bit further down in the zone? He tries to go to it but misses inside. I think you drop one of those down near his feet. I think you got a guy who's showing some aggressiveness at the plate. Maybe you get him to bite. Maybe you just get him to roll over something that's an easy play for you or one of your infielders. But we'll see what he's got here on the 1-2.
And still behind in the count with the 1-2.
He goes to it again. Spargo just couldn't lay off. So conceivably, the count could be 3-1 or 2-2 right now if he holds off on one of those last two pitches.
And Abercrombie knows his strike zone's a little bit bigger too, because things are going to look real tempting for for Spargo.
Spargo does put it in play. It's down to the left field. Here comes one run. Taken off for home. The throw is in time. Did he get him? He did not. We've got a tied ball game. Alvin Spargo does come through. 2 runs off his bat. Fights his way through that one. And, man, we have just changed this game off the bat of the Etowah 2030.
Yeah, that's a huge hit from Spargo. We mentioned he was looking really aggressive, really hungry. Just managed to put one through the middle infield and score 2. Big hit and a big inning from 6-4-3.
Yep.
They've scored all 4 of these runs. Here's a huge swing there from the next batter on 6-4-3, looking to keep up this offensive momentum.
This is now Dylan Frisbee hitting in Hunter Bates' spot in the order. Swing. Yeah, and obviously, you know, the mentality of the AB changes big time when you're in that position too. Like, I'm sure if you were to show him to go back over those pitches, he's like, yeah, I probably wouldn't normally swing it at that pitch, or I'm probably laying off that. But, you know, the heart rate's accelerated. You know, the energy level's up. You're trying to come through, and he absolutely does that. But, yeah, that was a great AB. I'm sure that one inside pitch that he kind of took a hack at, he'd love to have back, but he does come through with that huge moment for 6-4-3 and a team that scored 1 run in the first game of their pool play action today against the Georgia Jackets, who are watching there behind the plate. And they've waited in this game so many times to try to have that breakthrough, but they're able to tie things up. We do see a inning-ending strikeout there for Frisbee, but we are tied up as we move along. You are watching the Shamrock Classic. Everything's changed. You'll be back. Play more from LakePoint Sports.
Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Will Hoogendyk, Jack McCartney with you. A game that turned on its head in the 6th inning. And in the 5th inning, we saw 4 runs for 6-4-3 in that one. The big blow, 2 runs coming off the bat of Alan Spargo to tie this up. And everything has changed as we move along now to the 6th inning. Christian Graft is back on the mound for 6-4-3. And he'll have Miguel Santana Gray, Wyatt Venters, and Grant Abercrombie at the plate for Rawlings Tigers. And what a great inning for 6-4-3, because we wondered, after watching things kind of slip away from them, after giving up 3 runs via errors in that 4th inning, what was the energy going to be like for them? They couldn't mount anything in the fourth inning. They just were unable to kind of have that breakthrough. But, man, they get it in the fifth, and this is now turned into a ball game that we didn't know we were going to have.
Well, and it all started to Jacob Hammock, I believe, was the first man to the plate for 6-4-3. And we mentioned that he needed some redemption just after that throw down to third base that ended up being an error and causing 2 of Rawlings' runs. And so for them to explode for 4 runs of themselves, and I don't say explode lightly because, like we said, they lost 11-1, did not get a chance to do anything offensively against the Georgia Jackets, but they now have 4 runs on 5 hits.
Sometimes a game can get away from you, and that obviously happened to them to start off pool play, but they have responded in turn here and changed the dynamics of their day. Gray's 0 for 2. He adjusts the accessories and now steps back in.
And with that long half inning, too, time is now more of a factor.
Yep.
As we only have about 5-6 minutes left.
Bouncer over the top of the head of the very tall Gray. Shortstop has it. Does he throw in time to get the out?
Looks like he does. As you said, don't usually throw the ball around the horn if
That's right.
The batter.
Or maybe you're just trying to, you want to run? Here's your chance. Let's give you a chance. All right, now Wyatt Venters now at the plate. Wyatt Venters, the third baseman that made that fantastic inning double play that we saw during one of the opportunities in which 6-4-3 had a couple runners in scoring position. But we've seen some really good defensive work in this one, and I don't know that it gets much better than what we saw from Venters. And turning that double play, having to make that extremely – there's no more daunting throw than that long throw from that third baseman to try to go from all the way to the bag to first to get a runner. But Venters showing off the arm strength for that one.
Yeah, no, and great for the Rawlings team, and also for Nunez, who was still on the mound at that time, still having a very good game. And he did have a good game, and he didn't give up any of the runs to 6-4-3, but always nice to know that you have a solid defense behind you who can help you out.
So it's getting real in this one. This will be the last AB that Rawlings will get. We do have ties in pool play. So certainly 6-4-3, hoping they can ride that offensive momentum into the bottom of this 6th inning and come through with a walk-off win.
Let's say it's going to be in a tough spot because we were talking about what it would look like because they only have 3 teams in their pool.
Yeah.
So they're most likely going to get a consolation game because of the run rule and then the tie.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's really that they have to get this win, right? If they want to play in bracket play tomorrow, they've outside of a consolation, they've got to get this victory.
Yeah. So time is of the essence as steps off.
Counts here full to Venters. He's 1 for 1.
Off the catcher and the umpire, I think, on that one.
So they call catching equipment, I don't know if you ever, the tools of ignorance. Have you ever heard that?
I've not heard that, no.
I don't know what you call the umpire's equipment because not only are you standing back there as well, you don't have a glove.
Yeah.
And you're putting your hands behind your back.
Yep.
So tools of increased ignorance. There's a strikeout for Graft. That's a big one. Abercrombie goes down on strikes. Jimmy Venters goes down on strikes. He was 1 for 1. Now it's Abercrombie. They're wearing camo, so it's like everything's blended. Abercrombie's got that double earlier in this game. See if he can build on that here. They need a base runner, need some kind of insurance here going into the bottom half of this inning. Last thing they want to do. I mean, that couldn't be a more worse feeling for the Rawlings Tigers, right? You were up 4-1. You gave up those. You gave up those runs. You are 4-0. You gave up those 4 runs, and now you've got to get something going here, or you're giving the other team a chance to get out of here with a win or a tie. And you thought you were going to get a win in any go.
Yeah. Well, and also again, you're up against the clock, which makes everything an added level of difficulty.
Yeah.
Too.
We got about 2 minutes.
Last strike.
We've got 2 minutes left. So there's
Yeah.
there's no way that they're getting through 3 6-4-3 batters to force a 7th inning. So it's all coming down to this for them. 1-2. That's pop back foul.
Abercrombie could hit a home run right here. That would be something.
That would be something.
Giving up 4 runs and then saying, "Don't worry, guys."
Yep. I do like the easy delivery from Graff, though. His last pitch, 75.6 miles an hour. Nice steady mover. Goes to the secondary, and that's going to miss to make it 2-2. Probably with that bat wiggle. Comes another 2-2. Another punch out for Graff. Does his job. 2 strikeouts in that inning. And 6-4-3 DP. Another opportunity. See if they can capitalize on their offensive magic from the 5th. Can they deliver a walk-off win? Find out when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality. Hardworking. Reliability. Lead. No. Job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Will Hoogendyk, Jack McCartney with you. And the 6-4-3 have some magic in them. We saw an offense that looked stagnant earlier in this game. They delivered just 1 run during their first pool play matchup here against Georgia Jackets. So they have something in their back pocket here. Can they deliver a little bit more and get out of here with a much-needed win? Jack, you were down there. We mentioned the pregame vibe around this team. How were they going to respond to that big loss to Georgia Jackets? They looked flat, in all honesty, a little earlier in this game. They had a couple errors that resulted in 3 of the 4 runs for Rawlings Tigers. So you could say nothing was going 6-4-3's way in this game until that last half an inning. And now, do they have enough left? This is going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, I mean, they go and they have that horrible, I'll say horrible game in the beginning.
Well, I'm sure if you were to ask their coach, that's the description he would probably use for a game in which they lose in the way they did. But I think it says a lot about his team, the way that they've come back and put themselves in this position to sit here in the bottom of the 6th.
Yeah, I mean, they have.
And they have 4, 5, and 6 coming up. So Aiden McCray. Ooh, did he get hit? Wow.
I think he did.
Did he? I think he just got the fear of the good Lord put into him, and he jumps back out of the way on that one.
He slammed his bat down, so it kind of looked like he was frustrated over that.
Well, he's got a 1-1 now, but he had to dance out of the way of a pitch that was headed for parts unknown. And this is going to make it now 2-1. There is a new pitcher for Rawlings Tigers. This is Colton Koblentz. So Koblentz started out in the field for him. We just see some movement around there as we knew they were going to make a change at some point. So they go to Koblentz from North Gwinnett. And Craig puts that in play. Where's that headed? All the way to center field. Second base cannot make that. It should have been the center fielder's ball. Could not hold off, and so we do have a base runner aboard for 6-4-3. Tough play. You know, that second baseman's thinking he's got that, but you're trying to make basically a play where you're trying to extend in front of an outfielder. You got to sometimes you just got to lay off, and it can be a tough moment for a fielder. Should have probably been the center fielder's ball, but Rawlings Tigers allow a 6-4-3 base runner here to start things off. Another ball in play, and they're going to put him in the right field. Now they got him at first and second as McCray advances, and man, they are now runner in scoring position after 3 pitches.
Yeah, I think that's right. 4 pitches, but yeah.
4 pitches. So give Koblentz an opportunity here to calm down. Catcher smartly going out there to have that conversation with them. And the degree of difficulty just ramped up for Rawlings Tigers to try to get out of this one with a tie.
Well, and the tide really has turned, Corey. I mean, one of the big plays for Rawlings when they scored half their runs was a throwing error from Hammock, the double play catcher. And after you see that kind of miscue there in the outfield, I think that goes back to a little bit of what we were talking about last week, where these players are getting used to playing on bigger fields. I don't think, like you said, that changed the fact that that probably was the center fielder's ball. But yeah, tide really has changed, and then a hit off one pitch, and quickly 2 men aboard for 6-4-3.
And Cade Holzman, the shortstop, who's now at the plate. Cade has an 0-1 count. He shows bunt, pulls back. Taking off for second, and again, you try not to create opportunities for teams to advance base runners, and we've just occasionally seen a little bit too trigger happy behind the plate in this one, and it's I think sometimes you trust your arm too much, but certainly you don't want to give a team that's a chance to advance a runner without doing it with that bat. Bunt again, that one is going to be caught by the catcher. Does he throw back for the double play? He does not. Runner gets back in time. Could have been devastating for 6-4-3. Koblitz smartly gloves that and throws back to second, but instead we'll have runners at first and second with one down. So from Koblitz to Jacob Hammock. That's a strike. Doubting here with one out that Hammock's going to show bunt.
He's probably thinking just get something in the gap, advance the runners, maybe score one. Very antsy runner on second base, number 24.
McCray.
Yeah.
That one goes back foul.
And that's one thing 6-4-3 has to be careful of, too, that they don't get too anxious and anticipate that hit too much to where, the catcher is walking them down and having to throw back. Unless they're just trying to get the catcher to throw it to them, which happened and nearly got away from the second baseman.
And the 0-2, Hammock rips that one into right field. That's going to be off the second baseman's glove. Is the runner going to hold? Oh, just a little bit of hesitation. A little bit of hesitation. McCray does hold at third, so they've got one out. Look, if he goes, maybe there's a play at the plate, but you got one down. All they got to do is put something in the outfield, and this is game over. And Reed Schechter, who was the starting pitcher for 6-4-3, has that opportunity. One out, bases loaded. Everyone's coming in. This is getting dicey here for Rawlings Tigers. Again, they led 4-0, but 4 runs in the 5th inning for 6-4-3. Snapped out of their slumber. Now they have the bases loaded. That one is down the right side. Is that going to be in play? That's going to go foul. So now a 1-2 count here to Schechter.
And I think going back to McCray on third there, that's just a situation where you wait and see what your coach tells you. And like you said, it's just one out. So
you don't want to get
patient.
you don't want to get too aggressive,
right.
But at the same time, it's a team that's had opportunities. Catcher stops that from going back.
And now we're turning into a situation where if Rawlings could preserve this tie, it would be huge for them.
Yeah, this is serious jam for them right now. This is Smucker's territory for Rawlings Tigers.
Not the position they thought they were going to be in an inning ago.
Yep,
for sure.
They led 4-0. 2-2 to Schechter. He's going foul. He's fighting here. 15 pitches for Koblitz here in this inning.
After a 48-pitch inning from Abercrombie.
Wow.
I mentioned that to you after we went to break. It was 48 pitches, bottom of the fifth.
63 pitches they've forced Rawlings Tigers to throw these last 2. Schechter sends that one into center field, makes the catch, the throw home. Is it going to be in time? It's going to be wide. 6-4-3. DP's got it. Crosses the plate. Schechter puts it in play. They get the walk-off pop-out. Our 5-4 winners over Rawlings Tigers, and what an ending for 6-4-3, a team that lost in run rule to start their day off. They come through. They are winners. Absolute chaos here in the Shamrock Classic. Well, what do we even say? This offense looked like they had nothing to offer, and they just come through these last 2 innings, and man, what an ending.
I mean, truly the start and the end of their day here could not have been more different. Like you said, a 4-inning, 11-1 run rule. They lost the Georgia Jackets. They had 2 hits in that one. They've had 6 hits just in the last inning and 2/3 alone, along with 5 runs, getting the walk-off run. I mean, I mentioned earlier in this inning, just a true change of the tides and a phenomenal game from 6-4-3.
Yeah, what an ending. We're going to be back so much more for you. Our Aspen Hospitality Group Moment That Matter, Player of the Game, all that when we come back from LakePoint Sports.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
We're here at the Rawlings store at the LakePoint Sports Baseball Village with LakePoint athlete Austin Tambora. Here to do some glove shopping. Austin, you ready?
Let's do it.
All right, Austin, when you go hunting for a glove, what's that first thing that you go for? Is it the overall look? Is it the material? Is it the shape? Like, what's that first thing that you go to?
I think it's a little more of the shape-ish, the material, color, a little bit of mix of the both.
I don't want to date myself, but it used to be that gloves were either tan, brown, black. Now there's like every color under the sun. You can get any design you want. It's really become that personalized part of things for a player. Are you 100% on board with that drip part of it, or for you is it more about the subtleness?
I mean, it's a little bit of both. I mean, I like the tan look. Tan look always looks good. I mean, you can never go wrong with a glove unless it's a bunch of different colors, like a couple of these, but...
All right, so we are in the outfield section here. You're an outfielder. If you're picking something off the rack, what are you drawn to?
Definitely like something like this, because I mean it's got a little bit of look to it, red, but it's pretty stock glove that I like. I mean, you can't go wrong with it.
All right, Rawlings is the Gold Glove company. What's the best defensive play you've ever made in a game?
All right, so Final Four last year in high school, playing Rockmire, our home field, bottom of the 7th, ball gets hit to me and right. I go back, I slam straight into the wall, ball hits off the top of the wall, comes back in, pick it up, throw it to my shortstop, and throw them out at home for the win.
That's great stuff. I know every player remembers their first glove. What stands out to you about yours?
So I actually didn't realize it was a trainer's mitt until my dad told me at like 13. So I used it infield, outfield, wherever I played. So it was like a 10-inch glove. I mean, it was really small. So I'm glad he made me do it, though.
Well, I'm glad you upgraded. Now it's time to go upgrade again. We're going to get you on Rawlings' website. You can customize either a Revelin X, Pro Preferred, Heart of the Hide, or Gamer XLE. Have you customized every aspect of it? You ready?
Let's do it.
First one I picked up, I just liked it the best. And like I said, I tried a lot of different companies, a lot of different models, and I fell in love with Old Hickory for sure.
This is our brand. It's chips. Subs, of course. Soda. This. That. Sweets. smiling faces. Green. More green. Ice cream. But first, veggies. How about a meal for one? Or hummus is fun. Time for cleanup? Done. All this goodness. Your life, your brand. Publix, where shopping is a pleasure.
The Windscreen Factory, more than just windscreen. We're a full-service sports facility contractor. We manufacture windscreen for sports and construction, do fence repair and installation, and fabricate field netting and batting cages. In addition to manufacturing the products, we also install upon request. We make safety padding for backstops, rails, and walls, as well as full-service print shop with logo, branding, and signage capabilities. Please call us for a quote today.
At IHG's Holiday Inn Express, you can take on Miami, Mexico City, or Minneapolis. Fuel up with free hot breakfast, all while earning points for free nights with IHG One Rewards. Guest how you guessed at IHG Hotels and Resorts.
Backed by over 100 years of engine design and manufacturing and a highly skilled dealer network. Yanmar. Yanmar Tractors. Quality, hardworking, reliability. Leave no job unfinished. Yanmar. Visit us at www.yanmartractor.com or see your local dealer for details.
We're here at the Rawlings store in the LakePoint Sports Campus with LakePoint athlete Gino Goralski here to do some glove shopping. Gino, you ready?
I'm excited. Let's do it.
An outfielder, I know you watched guys when you were coming up. Who did you look to and you said, man, that's how you play in the outfield defensively?
Justin Upton with the Braves. Justin Upton, I mean, recently, Jared Duran, I mean, he's really good defensively. I mean, I can go on PCA. I mean, I just look at the guys that are really quick, they make the flashy diving plays and try to equivalent my game to that.
Some guys will name bats, they'll name gloves. Have you ever named a glove?
I have never named a glove, but if I was going to name a glove, I'd probably go from the Sandlot. Hercules, I would name my glove.
All right, I love the dog from the Sandlot. All right, now comes the fun part, because we're going to get you on Rawlings' website. You get to sit down and customize a Rev 1X Gamer XLE Pro Preferred Heart of the Hide. You ready?
Let's do it. Heart of the Hide here. I mean, can't go wrong with that. This is always a tough choice for me, just because all the pockets are very similar, but I always, every single time I build a glove, I always go with a 3029. I'm going to go baby blue. And then the patches to match. Like I said, I'm a very typical match type of guy. Shell palm. Baby blue. That's exactly what I want. And then laces, I'll go with blonde again, just because I think that's going to look really good with the glove. Shell palm, wait, what's the lining? Let's see the lining. Ooh, I didn't know I could make the inside baby blue too. Ooh, that's going to look really good. I should be able to go baby blue with the custom. And then the thumb, I will go, if I can spell this right, and second. I like this one just because it always reminds me of that I'm playing the game for Christ, not just for myself. And that's my glove right there.
Welcome back. Cory McCartney, Will Hoogendyk with you, and we just saw magic from 6-4-3 DP Tigers. 5-4 winners over Rawlings Tigers here in pool play from the Shamrock Classic. And Will, an offense that just looked flat across their first game, a run rule loss. They couldn't get anything going, opportunities for them early in this game, and they finally come through late. and just Reed Schechter coming through with that walk-off win. This was a big fight for 6-4-3.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mentioned before, I mean, so much difference between their first game and their second game. They got run ruled. The game ended early. And then this game went past the 1 hour and 45 because they had to get their last inning of play in. And, yeah, just that walk-off win from the starting pitcher, which I think is super cool. And really that explosion in, I believe that was the bottom of the fifth inning there, that they were able to score 4 runs, tie it up, and really give themselves the first footing that we saw in this tournament. So.
Well, a great win for them, but we also saw some great play as well from Rawlings Tigers, and that brings us to our Aspen Hospitality Group moment that matters. Let's hit the 4th inning here. Grant Abercrombie on the mound. Wyatt Venters tags third, long throw across. He strands 2 runners here, would put the pressure on 6-4-3, but some really great defensive work, and Venters was up to the task with that really tough play at the hot corner.
Yeah, it was, and as you saw, very, very nice play. And you mentioned earlier that that's a risky play too. I mean, it's a long throw, and we talked about how these guys are getting used to playing on the bigger fields. And so, yeah, very nice play to put the pressure on 6-4-3, and that's pressure that they were able to capitalize on and score 4 runs later. But yeah, kept him honest.
Well, let's talk player of the game, and there was to me there was only one option in this one, and that was Alvin Spargo coming through in the 5th inning. He gets that double to tie this thing up in just a gigantic moment for a 6-4-3 offense that needed it, and the Etowah 2030 delivered it.
Yeah, only a couple hits in their first game, and for him to get a game-tying 2 RBI double with the bases loaded, I mean, that really was the inning where it all came alive for them. And for them to tie it up, to see their first tie in their first couple games is huge. And also part of an offense that made the Rawlings throw 60-plus pitches in those last inning and 2/3 is huge for them, because Rawlings has another game after this, so they're going to go in a little bit more winded than they probably imagined.
Yeah, 6-4-3 team that gave up 3 runs via error. You maybe felt like after that run rule loss that things were going to get away from them again, but they showed a lot of fight in coming back in this one, and this pool play victory belongs to them. Of course, pool play will continue throughout today. The top 10 teams will go on to bracket play starting Sunday at 8 a.m. Title game slated for 4 p.m. If you can't make it out to the Baseball Village, you can find all those games live and on demand via LakePoint Live, powered by Aware TV and Pixelot. You can find all the baseball games played here at the Baseball Village on that platform. We'll be back with you next weekend for March Madness, so make sure you're following LakePoint Sports on all of our social media channels for tune-in information on that one. Until next time, for Will Hoogendyk, Jack McCartney, and producer Maddie Bullock, I'm Cory McCartney, and we're signing off from LakePoint Sports.